Let us discuss some level 2 questions in projectiles. The question says the velocity of a projectile when it is at the greatest height is root over 2 by 5 times its velocity when it is at half of its greatest height. Determine its angle of projection. So the question says that there is a projectile motion like this. Q is the point of maximum height and P is half the maximum height. Okay, so H max, let us say if it is H, then at P the y coordinate will be H max by 2, which is H by 2. See, at every point there will be a X and Y coordinate, and at every instance, every coordinate, you have two components of velocity, which is horizontal velocity and the vertical velocity. We already know that in projectile motion you have, in horizontal direction there is no acceleration. Now what does this mean? It means that in the horizontal direction the velocity is not going to change. So at every point, the velocity will be constant and it is u cos theta, because when you have projected like this u speed, it will have a horizontal component and a vertical component. So at every instance it will be u cos theta. So of course at different locations the theta value, it may keep on changing. Okay, does it change? The component of horizontal component remains u cos theta. Okay, now in the question, basically what all equations we know, we have to write in both directions, and we need to see what is the condition given here. The condition given here is the ratio of the velocity at P and Q. Now which velocity is the total velocity? That means he has not told the x component or the y component. It is the resultant speed at velocity at P location and Q location. So at Q location, you know that it is u cos theta only. We have to find what is the situation at P location. So at P location, y is equal to h by 2. Acceleration will be in the downward direction, so minus g, and uy at this particular location will be initially it was projected at an angle theta, so uy vertical component will be u sin theta. So v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So we have to put the suffix y because we are using in the y direction. So at this particular location P, you will have some final velocity. You cannot say that it is 0, that's why it is moving up. So vy square minus initial speed is this much, acceleration is g, and height, this y is h by 2. So once you solve it, you get v square y is equal to u square sin square theta minus gh. What is this h? This h is equal to h max, and you know that it is u square sin square theta by 2g. Once you simplify, you get dy is equal to u sin theta by root over 2. So you have arrived at the velocity in the y direction at P location. You already know what is the velocity at the velocity in the x direction. So we can get the final velocity, resultant velocity. v2 is equal to, you are at P location, we are calling the velocity as v2. So root over vx square plus vy square. So you get this expression. Now you have velocity at point P, you have the velocity at point Q, it is u cos theta, and the ratio, you see, at the greatest height is root over 2 by 5 times its velocity when half of its greatest height. So you have here if it is v1, here it is v2, v1 by v2 is given as root over 2 by 5. Okay. Okay, v1 by v2 is given as 2 by 5. Velocity at the top point is little less than the velocity at the half the height. So v1 by v2 is root over 2 by 5. Here also you have got v2. v1 you know it is u cos theta. You square it, and u square is a common term. You can cancel it out, and once you simplify, divide numerator denominator by cos square theta, you get this expression. So cross multiply, and finally you get tan theta is equal to root 3, and tan theta is root 3 by theta is equal to 60 degrees. So 60 degrees was the angle at which it was projected. Okay, determine its angle of projection. So basically you have to identify the conditions in the question. Here the condition given is v1 by v2 is equal to root over 2 by 5. Approach from there on, it is you have to calculate in both the directions, x component as well as the y component. It is similar to one dimensional motion only, but x and y direction both you are calculating, because it is a two-dimensional motion, but the same principles apply. Let's move to the next one. A particle is thrown over a triangle from one end of a horizontal base, and after grazing means touching, the vertex falls on the other end of the base if alpha and beta are the base angles of the triangle and theta is the angle of projection, so that so now theta is the angle of projection. There is originally a triangle is there, it is making alpha beta as the base angles. Now a object is thrown at a speed u in such a way that it takes a parabolic path, it touches A and then falls. It falls at this location B. Let us say this location is B. So what is this horizontal displacement mean? That is the range. That's why I have written R. Now between this theta is the angle of projection, and alpha and beta is asking you a relationship. On that relationship we have to prove that tan theta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta. Now if you see this triangle, let us name it this A, B, let us say this point is C and this point is O. A, C, O, tan alpha will be y divided by x. See, this total is R. You are saying this is the vertex, it will have some coordinate. That means this distance is x, this distance is y, this distance is x, total is R, this will be R minus x. Tan alpha will be y by x, and tan beta will be y divided by R minus x. Okay, so we need to add these two. Then we need to calculate the value of tan theta, and we have to see whether they are equal. So we have to calculate the tan theta. To calculate the tan theta, now this is the trajectory. For the trajectory we have derived an expression y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square by 2v square cos square theta, where v is the initial speed with which it has been projected. Here it is u, so I am using it u. So take x tan theta common, it will become 1 minus, you see when you take x common there is one x here, x will come here, it will become gx divided by 2u square cos square theta. Because you are taking tan theta common, you need to multiply in the denominator also. Now this term we will simplify. It is cos square theta into sin theta by cos theta. So it is sin theta cos theta. Already 2 is there, so it is 2 sin theta cos theta. So it becomes v square sin 2 theta. It becomes v square sin 2 theta by g is r. We already know this. What is 1 by r? It will be g divided by v square sin 2 theta. That is what is there here, this term. So it becomes, this is the term, so this term becomes 1 by r, x into 1 by r is. So x tan theta is equal to 1 minus x by r. So this is the expression we have got now. Okay. So we are interested in the tan theta value, so we will arrange it. This becomes r minus x by r. and tan theta will be equal to y into r divided by r minus x. Now here we know the value of tan alpha, tan beta, so just add them. Once you add them, take y common, 1 by x plus 1 by r minus x. So r minus x plus x gets cancelled. You are also getting here y r by x into r minus x, equation 2. So right hand sides are equal means left hand sides also must be equal. So tan theta will be equal to tan alpha plus tan beta. So you look at this approach, when you get to see this type of questions, always prove, individually calculate, and then prove that the RHS is equal to some term, LHS is equal to some term, and both terms are equal, and that's how you can calculate. Here the purpose of reducing into this is basically, you know the expression for range. So keeping it, because when you are adding these two, you are not getting any initial velocity, when you are adding these two. So somehow we need to eliminate this u square term, u square, cos square, all these terms, if possible we have to eliminate them. So that is why we have reduced that into this format. Okay. Let us move to the third one. It is also all these questions are level 2 questions. Please make a note of that. Now, in this question, two inclined planes OA and OB having inclinations 30 and 60 with the horizontal. This is one inclined plane, this is another inclined plane, 30 and 60 they are making with the horizontal. And they intersect each other at O. This is the intersection point as shown in the figure. A particle is projected from point P. There is a particle point P as shown in the figure. Now this is AO and this is BO. And it has been projected with this speed, 10√3, along a direction perpendicular to the plane OA. OA is a plane, here there is O, and along the direction perpendicular to OA. Like this is the perpendicular is this direction, this is the perpendicular will be this direction. If the particle strikes the plane OB, now this is that plane OB, perpendicular to Q. So it is going like this and it is hitting also at perpendicular. So he has asked you to find how much is the time, velocity, with what velocity is hitting here, what is this height, from where it has been projected, and what is distance PQ. P is here and Q is here. All these things we have to find out. Now, whenever this question is given, you have to, the figure is already given, you have to identify that condition. He is saying very clearly that at Q, it is, here we are taking X like this and Y like this. Okay, X is along OB and Y is perpendicular to OB. This is the sign convention we are going to follow in this question. Now, the condition given here is, it is hitting Q at a velocity which is perpendicular to this plane. That means it is hitting only in the Y direction. Okay, and here you see here the U is projected at an angle which is 90 degree. Is it not in the X direction itself? The speed, initial speed what they have given you, it is in the X direction. Okay, so if this is 30, this is 60, total is 90, this angle also will be 90 and this is 90. That means this U speed will be parallel to X speed. So Ux is given as 10√3, and if it is moving in the only X direction, Uy will be equal to 0. If you talk about acceleration here, we have to be careful. Acceleration is acting downward, so it will have components. You see here, if you imagine there is a line passing through here, if this is 60, this total will be 90, so this small angle will be 30. So when you try to draw the components, one component will be in the Y direction, one component will be in the X direction. The situation will be something like this. This angle is 60, the small angle will be 30, this angle is 90, 90 plus 30, 120, so this will be 60. So I have taken this angle as 60. If this is G, you have to see like this. If this is G, this will be G cos 60, this will be G sin 60. Okay? Now, you have considered X in this direction positive, G sin 60 is in the opposite direction, so minus sign. Similarly, A in the Y direction, acceleration in the Y direction, you have considered this as positive, so in the opposite direction it will be negative. So both are negative as per our sign convention. So now let's start going. At this initial location, the x component of velocity is equal to at P, x component velocity is equal to 0 at P, at Q. At Q, what is the situation? X component is 0 because it is hitting perpendicular to the plane. So we can use V is equal to U plus AT in the x direction. That's why surface x. Final speed is 0. Initial speed is 10 root 3. Given in the question. Acceleration you have worked out. You can get the value of t. T is 2 seconds. Now, so at Q, we have first used the condition Vx is equal to 0. Now, what is the final speed means? We need to find Vy. Vy will be equal to Uy plus Ayt. Okay. So, here at initial location, there is no y direction speed, there is only x direction speed. So, it is 0. Ay, you worked out, it is minus 5. G cos 60 minus 5 it is. And time, if it is flying in air in x direction for 2 seconds, it will fly in y direction also for 2 seconds. It cannot travel for 2 seconds in x direction and 4 seconds in y direction. Is it possible? So t is equal to 2. You get 10 meter per second. Okay. Next. Now we want to find the displacement. Obviously we will find the displacement in the y direction and in the x direction. So y direction, what is the displacement? It started off from here and it fell over here. So what will be the displacement in the y direction? This will be the displacement. Initial position, final position. The final position is this position only. So PO will be the displacement. S is equal to ut plus half at square. You have to apply. Which direction we are taking? Y direction we are taking. So UYT, initial speed in the y direction is 0. AY is minus 5. T is equal to 2. When you work out, you get minus 10 meters. So what is minus 10 meters? So it is falling in this direction. Upward you have considered positive. So from this location it has gone back in the downward direction. That is why it is minus 10 meters. 10 is the magnitude part, minus is the direction part. Now you have to calculate the displacement in the x direction. It is like this, it started off here and fell off here. So what is the x displacement? It will be this dimension. OB. This is B. This is Q. OQ is the displacement in the x direction. Again we can use the same formula. S is equal to ut plus half at square. You have to put ux, which is 10 root 3 times 2. Ax you have worked out. It is minus 5 root 3. When you simplify all these things, you get 10 root 3 meters. So you have calculated the displacement in y and displacement in x. So basically, what is the distance it travelled? No, not the distance. What is the distance between P and Q? Distance might have travelled to be like this, It is curvilinear. It is curved. But in the question they are asking you, what is the distance between PQ? So obviously, we have discussed that if angle is 30, this is 60, this angle will be 90. So this is 90. Okay. PO you have worked out to be 10. OQ is 10 root 3. So this is hypotenuse. Root over a square plus b square. So 10 square plus 10 root 3 square, which is 100 plus 300. You are going to get root 400 or 20 meters. So this is how you have to calculate. Please take a snapshot and close.